For years, generating high-quality AI voices meant relying on massive remote data centers, but that dynamic is starting to fracture. A new text-to-speech model called Kokoro recently topped the benchmarking leaderboards. While legacy systems require billions of parameters to sound natural, Kokoro operates on exactly 82 million. This compact footprint allows it to generate audio at over 200 times real-time speed. Crucially, it does this entirely on your own hardware, without pinging an external server. This animated diagram puts that scale into perspective. The tiny 82 million parameter sphere vastly outprocesses the sluggish 1.2 billion parameter sphere next to it. When a model this small performs this well, it forces every content creator to reevaluate their reliance on expensive cloud-based subscriptions. Commercial TTS services typically charge a fee for every character you generate. Kokoro operates under an Apache 2.0 license, making high-volume production free for commercial use. For a daily 15-minute scripted podcast, those per-character fees accumulate into thousands of dollars in annual overhead on a premium cloud platform. This chart tracks that financial impact over 3 years. The line shooting upward represents a standard ElevenLabs professional subscription. The flat line at the bottom is a self-hosted Kokoro setup, a one-time hardware investment followed by a near-zero baseline. However, accessing these savings requires trading plug-and-play simplicity for technical deployment. You have to be willing to spend time on the initial setup. Adopting Kokoro shifts your production workflow from a managed service to a self-managed system. It is a decision about who controls your infrastructure. Kokoro's efficiency is a result of its Style TTS2 architecture, which utilizes a decoder-only framework. Traditional diffusion-based models are slower because they must iterate and refine the audio hundreds of times before finalizing an output. On the left is the slow, circular loop of diffusion. On the right, Kokoro takes a direct, single-strike path from text straight to audio. Because it generates speech in a single pass, the output flow accelerates, processing over 200 words per second on consumer GPUs. This streamlined approach requires less than 2 gigabytes of VRAM. It allows the model to run on budget laptops or even a Raspberry Pi without compromising quality. Kokoro swaps iterative refinement for raw speed, proving that budget hardware can produce studio-quality narration if the architecture is efficient enough. While the speed is impressive, the emotional delivery is flat compared to its larger, slower competitors. It struggles with the dramatic swings and subtle inflections required for sarcasm or character acting. It sounds like a professional narrator reading a script rather than a performer living it. You are also locked out of custom voice cloning. Users are limited to the 10 pre-trained default voice packs provided with the model. These voices are optimized for clarity. For informational content, they provide an articulate, consistent tone that listeners can follow for hours without fatigue. This makes Kokoro a precision instrument for analytical data and professional reports, but the wrong tool for narrative fiction. Transitioning to an open-source model involves a steep technical barrier for those accustomed to effortless web interfaces. Installation means navigating Docker containers, complex Python dependencies, and command line interfaces before generating your first audio file. There is also the maintenance effort. When the system mispronounces a technical term, you must manually edit the phonemes to correct the output. This quadrant chart shows the positioning. Kokoro sits in the high-difficulty, low-emotion sector. If you aren't technical, third-party APIs can host the model for you at a fraction of a cent per character. The free price tag of open source is actually paid in technical labor. For a time-strapped professional, paying for a cloud service might be the more economical choice. We can use a structured framework to determine if Kokoro aligns with your specific production needs. First is voice cloning. To replicate a specific voice, use ElevenLabs. If not, move down. Second is content type. Fiction requires emotional depth, routing you to premium options. Finally, if you can handle Docker, self-hosting is the path. Otherwise, use a hosted API. The ideal user for Kokoro is someone managing high-volume, non-fiction content, like corporate training, e-learning modules, or daily news roundups. Applying this matrix ensures you only adopt the software if it will actively accelerate your production, rather than stalling it. Kokoro TTS delivers 90% of premium cloud quality for 0% of the ongoing cost. By leveraging this technology, it allows an individual creator to operate at a massive enterprise level straight from a simple home workstation. The current technical barriers will likely vanish soon as the community develops more user-friendly graphical interfaces. Mastering these hyper-efficient local models pulls the levers of production back onto your own machine, permanently securing your creative pipeline.